We all know visions, along with their elements, hold strong ties to the character's ambitions, aspirations, dreams, even their insecurities. We have already stepped into the alternate reality of the Looking Glass once before, meeting a very different Ganyu. So let us step once again through the portal of the Looking Glass, and look at yet another beloved character had their circumstances and vision been different. What would they have been like in this alternate world? Let's find out. Before we begin though, if you enjoy Tevod's Facts and Wisdom, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. After the video is over, join us over in our community Discord server, where we talk all about Genshin, including lore. Okay, with that said, let's open the Teyvat dictionary and see what's been uncovered. We turn our looking glass over to some mysterious corner of Sumeru, onto one very familiar mage, though at this time much younger at only 16 years old. However, she seems to have some key differences already. The lone maiden seems to be sketching and taking notes in the academia's private greenhouse, making swift work to archive and sort every specimen that had been left to her to go through by her teachers. Upon closer inspection, this turns out to be Lisa, though she sports very different clothes, and instead of violet roses, there are blue ones. At first glance, not much about her has changed though. She has not yet received her vision. Looks like the cultivation to preserve the glaze lilies is going as I suspect it would, she hummed. It was then there was a familiar sight as her teacher walked. How goes the research, Miss Lisa? Splendidly. I'm going to head to the library now to see if I can improve the method to preserve the properties of the glaze lilies. It'd be far too tragic if this species of flora went extinct. Lisa started gathering her research supplies into her bag. If only she could just figure out a method to safely cultivate these flowers to make them grow far faster and hardier. I'll leave it to you and expect the results within a week, her teacher informed with a clap of delight. And I promise you, I do sound delighted. The rate his prodigy accomplished her research tasks was astounding, and had no doubts that Dendro Archon would approve of his student greatly. Of course. Lisa hurried on her way past her teacher straight for the library. However, what would happen next would change and turn Lisa's life upside down. Young Lisa had spotted a stranger leave some sort of secret chamber within the library walls, hidden in plain sight within the bookcases. She wondered and went to investigate. Lisa was famous for her curiosity and thirst for knowledge amongst her peers at the academia. But curiosity could be a double-edged sword, as soon she discovered the way into the sacred chamber. Inside was a shelf upon shelves of ancient scrolls, books, and even records dating back countless centuries. There was one book though on one particular shelf that seemed to draw her in like a siren at sea. One look wouldn't hurt, would it? She wondered, grabbing the book in question. The book seemed ordinary and not very remarkable in appearances, filthy and ragged from age. But upon opening, that's when all hell broke loose. A burning sensation as dark, creeping, vine-like energy seeped out the instant she had cracked the seal on this book. Many things went through her mind in that moment, but the biggest was fear. What she had read and touched had been a Pandora's box in of itself. So much knowledge seeped into her mind like a broken record player as the black vine-like energy began to threaten to consume her. Then it just stopped. You silly child. Opening the book we were looking for came a motherly voice she knew far too well. Before her stood an all too familiar elf alchemist and another more experienced mage with a much younger, blacker-haired girl with the Geo Vision. See, I told you, Master, we'd find her here, the girl boasted proudly. Very good, Mona. Your astrology has improved greatly, as well with your geomancy, hummed the mysterious mage. Alice? Croaked Lisa, as the elfin mage went to her side to take her and the cursed book away. Soon everything turned to black as Lisa passed out. Alice's words of assurance drowned out in the darkness. Lisa was taken to some unknown location far away from Sumeru, raging with fever for days. It wasn't until she finally awoke did Lisa learn she had been taken in by the Hexencircle. It had startled Lisa to great lengths, but then they revealed that she had been cursed by the very book she had looked into, and that shook her greatly. "You need not worry, my dear. You are safe here, Lisa, for we are all like family," assured Alice. "My master and one of our sisters managed to seal your curse, but it's going to leave you more frail from now on. If for any reason your negative emotions take hold, you will lose control and lose your very soul bit by bit," Mona informed. "Isn't there a way to break the curse?" Lisa asked in dismay. "That is something you must discover on your own, dear child," came the voice of a figure in the shadows. This new figure seemed far more experienced and older, with an intimidating but parental aura about her. Eyes of blue and dusty blonde hair revealed briefly in the candlelight. "Sister Rhindaughter, welcome back," the group greeted. Resolve soon burned in Lisa's eyes as she looked at Alice and these new faces. "How can I break this curse on me?" she demanded again. "Find out on your own. Head out into the world and search," advised Mona's master. "You won't be alone. You must be the one to break it. But we'll help you find the means to do so. But only if you want to join us as my fellow apprentice," stated Mona. "I'll join. In exchange, keep your promise," Lisa agreed. Fast forward, and Lisa has grown into a fine mage, and has even dabbed in alchemy due to having become Alice's little prodigy, eventually given a Dendro Vision by the Hexenzirkel to help her along the way. She returns to Mondstadt and goes on to become a part of the Knights, becoming not just its librarian, but also the infamous captain of the 8th Company. Many describe Lisa as being obsessed with knowledge, growing bored if the topic does not pique her interest. She has been seen having a more sadistic side towards those who dare to cross her, trapping those so unfortunate in her poisonous, thorny blue rose vines. Just a single touch from those thorns can petrify her foes to stone. "I am the Witch of the Blue Rose. Shall I show you what nightmares are?" are often the last words her enemies hear before screams of terror follow, especially if anybody so much as tries and lays a hand on her master's daughter, Klee, and speaks ill of Albedo. Lisa is always swift to scold Mona for never bringing Mora with her when she needs it. However, Lisa remains rather cheerful, if not a bit sassy towards what she cares for, but she keeps her knowledge and secrets closely guarded. Lisa, during this time, having become the Hexenzirkel's very own history and records keeper, unbeknownst to all of Tevat, as she continues her quest to break her curse. A few years later, and the events of the Anima Archon quest begins to unfold. Like before, Lisa is in the office with Jean when she talks to the Traveler and introduces each other. Lisa takes an instant liking to the Traveler as she helps them not only with the temple, but even becomes involved with Traveler, Diluc, Jean, and Venti for the duration of her quest. She reveals later she had witnessed Traveler purify Devalin's tears somehow, and it intrigues her. Her thirst to learn how the Traveler did this is evident, as Lisa believes it to be a lead to lift her curse. Lisa asks them to help in her quest, and in exchange, she would find any lead she can on her missing sibling, using her circle's vast network of connections. But Lisa is careful not to let any information on her fellow mages slip to the Traveler. As a unit, Lisa in this very different world is a Dendro Catalyst user, her signature weapon being the Widzith. Her rose vines deal damage and petrify enemies as she ensnares them, stealing their health for herself and teammates. Her ultimate looks like a tornado of razor-sharp blue rose petals that surround and trap her foes, dealing massive AoE damage. Her constellation forms what looks like a rose on a scroll and is called Rosa Chronista, which means Rose Chronicler. For her specialty, Lisa loves to actually make pasta salad and baked goods, her signature dish being a type of sea scones. These scones offer resistance to elemental damage and boost your party's defenses. That's about it as we step back out from this looking glass. I look forward to seeing the comments you guys have for this. This one was a bit harder due to the lack of information on the Dendro element at the present date, but it was still a fun alternate reality to have done. What element do you think your favorite characters would be if their circumstances had been different? Let me know. Also, a big shout out to Altest and Shuro Kuro for these amazing artworks that made this alternate reality vision swap possible. Thanks again, guys. Anywho though, I'm gonna go ahead and close the Tevachinary. Thanks so much for watching, and with that said, I'll see you in the future for more Genshin Impact content and lore.